Welcome back. A few days back, I was watching Mel Robbins' podcast with Matthew Hussey. They were talking about a four-level framework in a relationship, which caught my attention because, as for me, when it comes to dating to the point of commitment, I also do have my own way of understanding this, and I have my four level of framework, which you will get to know with time. But the way Matthew Hussey puts it is a little different and it covers a wider spectrum. That is why it just got me immersed in, okay? And I felt like this is something which we all need to know, which we all need to be aware about, because we all go through these phases and knowing this can be helpful for us. So apart from younger children and very older couples who have already had, grandchildren and all, I think this content is going to be beneficial, insightful for all of us together. So let's go into it. The first level is admiration stage. It's interesting that relationships start with this. You have to like someone, you have to be likable to start off the relationship, right? But at this phase, this is just a one way, okay? So you're liking someone, but you do not yet know whether that person likes you back or not. That's the first phase, and that's how relationships begin. Here, I would like to pause and just emphasize on a relationship etiquette, which I feel younger women needs to be aware about. And here I'm talking about having the grace to say no to men who are interested in us, okay? Because generally it is man who proposes, it is man who comes up front, and we as women, we are recipients, we respond, we react, isn't it? And therefore, I feel that we need to be graceful, we need to have the respect for men um, in terms like where they are interested in us, but we do not have that same interest in them. I feel that we need to be able to let them know that we are not interested in them, but that can be done in a polite, kind manner, not coming off as rude, arrogant, or putting them down. I learned this from my youngest maternal aunt. So even before I got interested in man, she had already shared that we should not put them down. No, like when men are interested in us and we don't like them back, it does not mean that we shame them. So something that I learned from her, and it really got stuck with me, and if I'm not mistaken, I have been careful to have this grace in me. And today I just wanted to share this and share the message to the younger ladies that we really need to develop on this, okay? Because in life, you might get to meet those men again, those people again. Sometimes they will marry with our cousins, sometimes with our friends, or in life you might, be located in the same locality or work in the same department or whatever. Okay, so we get to meet people over and over again, isn't it? So if we are wise enough in our younger ages, if we are wise enough to take our steps in a more conscious manner, then as we move on along in life, ahead in life, we do not need to feel guilty for the way we said things or for the way we did things, and we can continue to enjoy congenial relationship. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to leave with you. And the second level is mutual attraction. This is an interesting phase. This is when you get to know that the other person is also equally interested in you just as you are, and you begin to see each other, you date, you get to know each other, and there is something that is happening, that is going on. Now this phase can also be one of the most dangerous phase, because this phase can lead you ahead to the next level, or you can even remain stuck in this relationship for a long time, and which might not yield to a very fruitful endeavor, and can leave you in a painful, heartbroken condition as well. Okay, at this phase, what is happening is you are in touch with one another, you are getting to know each other more. But if you sense that you have been in this phase for quite some time, say 2 or 3 years, but this relationship is not going ahead, the more you're investing your time and energy, the more you're committed to this kind of relationship, isn't it? But if you feel that it's not moving ahead and you're just stuck in this relationship, or if you feel that the person that you're interested in and the one who is interested in you seem to be pulling off, pushing away and coming back again, no, something like that, it's your relationship is not strong, if your relationship is not very sturdy, it's a little shaky and you're confused, then this is a point of time when you need to have the courage to ask the hard questions, to ask difficult questions, things which you won't be comfortable with, things which you do not want to ask, but something that will propel you to either move ahead or to retrieve back and to go back to your life as a single person and start over again. Okay, so this is very crucial, this is very important. What can happen is, since you like this person so much and you know that the other person also likes you, you might buy into the lie that, oh, maybe something is missing, maybe there is something that I need to do more, maybe I need to change a little bit, or maybe I can change this person over time, over a period of time. We can just convince us of those things, but the fact is that it's going to be difficult if that person is not seeing value in this relationship, if the other person is not interested in going ahead in the same pace or in the same direction with you, then it's going to be difficult. Matthew Hussey, he says that this phase, this level is like having a plot of land, and you want to build your castle on this land, but you are not sure whether the other person is also equally interested in building that castle with you. For a relationship to work, it's going to be two people, isn't it? And if it's only you who wants to build and who is dreaming, but the other person is not coming alongside, then it's going to be difficult, okay? So, as I've been mentioning, if you feel that something is off and you are just stuck in this relationship, maybe it's time for you to muster up your courage and ask the other person, he or she, how do you see this relationship? Like, are you seeing us, moving ahead into a more deeper relationship? Or, do you feel that we are just going to be here in this level and things ends with this? So this is something that you need to be asking. This could lead you to a heartbreak, this could be painful if the other person lets you know that they are not interested in moving ahead, in moving to the next level in your relationship, which I will mention in a very little while. And I'm also guessing that you might be already knowing what that is. But so like, if it's meant to be broken, if it's not meant to work out, then you may invest your lifetime into that relationship hoping that it will eventually change. But if that person is not willing, it's not going to work, okay? And also the other way is when you muster up your courage and you ask this question, if that person really values you, really sees you as a person of worth, and they do not want to leave you, they do not want to be separated from you, and they are willing to build your castle together, that plot of land, then that is the point of time where they will, rethink about your relationship, and they will be willing to change, and they will be willing to go to that next level of relationship. So even though it's going to be difficult for you, as I mentioned, if you're in a kind of relationship where you're feeling confused about your future and you're feeling stuck, then these difficult questions will definitely help you, enable you to really know where this relationship stands, okay? So that's the second phase. The third phase is commitment phase or commitment level. So if you're already mutually attracted to one another and you're already in a dating relationship where you have come to know each other, then there needs to be a point of time where you stop, looking around. You stop dating other people apart from that special person, okay? And you, commit yourself to be committed to that person. Maybe you will not right away be engaged to that person or right away plan about marriage if you are still very young, if you're in your early 20s, or you still have goals and aims, things to do in life. But then at least if you know that you have found that person and you want to be committed to that person, then you can commit yourself to one another, isn't it? You can have that special person, and you don't need to be looking around searching for another man or women, right? So that phase is very important, okay? So when you're moving from a mutual attraction to commitment, for younger people it could be like just being committed that you're not going to be seeing other men and women, you're going to be committed to one another, and eventually down the line you will marry one another. So that could be something. Or if you're in your late 20s, or like you're settled and you feel that you are in the age where you want to get married, then commitment could mean getting engaged or start planning about your marriage, start planning about your future together, okay? So that's something. That is the third phase. And finally the fourth phase, okay? So the fourth phase is compatibility, or the fourth level I should say, compatibility. Just being in love, just being attracted to one another is not enough. It takes more than a feeling, more than just being in love, okay? So it takes compatibility to keep two persons together, to have a thriving, healthy relationship. Compatibility, when we look at the synonyms, we will see different words for this. It's called suitable, ideal, custom-made, capable, able, and things like that. And it's also very interesting that when we read in the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 18, when God decided to create woman, He said, I will make a helper suitable for him. Okay, so God used that word, isn't it? So God made a compatible partner, a suitable partner for men or for women. No? It goes both ways, vice versa, isn't it? So when you are compatible, then it means that you have common values, you have shared values, you have things that you enjoy doing together, planning together, or say like you have common religious agreements, okay, or your social connections, your emotional level of intimacy, your physical aspects, your financial values, things like that. So you have common ground. Now this does not mean that you have to be agreeing on everything, you have to be identical in everything. It's not that, right? We're all unique, and you will have your differences as a unique being. But when you are compatible, it means that you are able to enjoy those differences also. So those differences that you have does not push you away, does not pull you apart, but in fact it gives you room, it gives you that personal space to be yourself, and you can enjoy one another. And at the same time, you also have shared values where you can come together and you can appreciate each other's point of view. You can appreciate each other's company in different areas of things. Okay, so being compatible is very important, especially if you're someone who is married. Then I think you need to be seriously thinking in terms of this when it comes to compatibility. Okay, because as we are sharing love, yes, of course, attraction, those feelings, those emotions, that really did had its part, and it is because of that that you have chosen to be committed to one another and to settle down to be married, right? But then in the long run, what is going to keep you glued together is your compatibility scale. Okay, the ability to see together, to look at things in the same light. No, of course, like as I mentioned, there will be times when you will have different viewpoints, but even in those situations, if you're compatible, then you're more understanding, you're able to see each other's point of view and understand their point of view. Okay, so compatibility is very important. Having shared values is very important, because that will enhance your relationship, that will enable you to enjoy each other's company. Okay, and it will keep you in the same direction. So these are the four levels of framework that Matthew Hussey he shared, and these are admiration, mutual attraction, then commitment, and to wrap it up, it's compatibility. Okay, so no matter in which stage you are, I hope and I wish that your relationship will be progressing, it will be moving ahead, and if along the way you have to, go back to singlehood, you have to break away from those relationships, of course, till the point of commitment. Okay, I mean, if you're attracted to someone and that person does not like you back, then that's fine, isn't it? Or if you're mutually attracted to one another, but then you find out that this relationship is not going anywhere, it's not going forward, then even though you invest your whole life into this is not going to work out. So when you're in such kind of situations, no, so whether you be in the admiration stage or you be in mutual attraction stage, if you have to retrieve back, then it's okay. Okay, be self-compassionate, know your worth. You can go back and then start over again. No, or if you're in the stage where you're committed to one another, then you need to be looking forward to having higher level of compatibility. Okay, if you're already committed to being engaged or to marry or to see each other as a person whom you're going to marry, or you're already in a married relationship, then you need to be working on your compatibility scale. So I leave you with this, and thank you for staying tuned till the end. See you in the next video.